What's going on, everyone? In this video, we're going to go over 5 tips to help you build muscle whether you're a beginner, advanced, or just stuck on a plateau and want to get past it. Let's get into it. So everyone knows that the longer you lift, the harder it is to put on muscle. And a lot of people get to the point after a few years of lifting where they hit this plateau and they don't see any more results. And the reason for this is because they're not increasing their intensity of the workout. Their body's used to the stress that they're applying on it. So what you really want to do when trying to gain muscle is increase your intensity. Now, you can do that one of 2 ways. The first being do the same amount of work in a shorter period of time, and the second way is to do more work in the same amount of time. In order to know why intensity is so important when building muscle, you have to understand how muscle is actually built and developed. Basically, what you're doing when you're lifting weights is you're applying stress to your body, and your body's going to adapt to that stress. When you're increasing the intensity of your workout, you're also increasing the stimulation you're sending to your muscles, meaning that they're going to develop more. And while you can lower the rest time or increase the weight you're doing to increase your intensity, there are also some special techniques that you can apply that will deliver more stress to your muscles. So the first technique we're going to talk about is supersets. And basically with supersets, what you're doing is performing 2 or even 3 different exercises back to back with no rest time. When doing supersets, you can approach it one of 2 ways. The first would be hitting the same body part with both exercises. For example, you could do cable pull downs and cable rows. And then the second way is to hit 2 different body parts with those different exercises. So for example, you could do bicep curls, then you could do close grip bench and hit those triceps. When doing supersets, you want to make sure that the first exercise you're doing is the most demanding. And then the second one is kind of the easier of the 2. When deciding what kind of superset you want to go for, it really depends on what you want. If you hit 2 of the same body parts, then you're going to get a better pump and you're going to have a better result for that muscle group. But you can do the other approach and it gets more of a cardiovascular training because while you're hitting one, the other body part is resting. The second technique is 1.5s. What that is pretty much you hit 1 full rep and then you go down and then you go up about half that initial full rep. And when you get to that top of the half, hold it for a second and go slowly back down and then do a full run, then alternate back down and do that half again. The third technique is called negative reps. When you're pushing a weight up, that's a positive force, and then when you're going down, it's a negative force. So what you want to do is after you do the positive force and you come back down slow and under control, you're putting more force onto your tendons. And increasing your tendon strength is great because you want to make sure your tendon strength is getting stronger as your muscles get stronger as well. The one person that really loves negative reps is Dorian Yates. Every time you hear a podcast or read a book about him, he talks about negative reps. There's probably a reason why he's a 6-time Mr. Olympia. Now it's really important to note that a lot of people do negative reps wrong. They go too quickly and just kind of let it drop, and that's not what negative reps are about. It's about a controlled slow motion going down. You'll feel the burn. And when doing negative reps, you're going to have to lower the weight. Don't try doing the same weight you normally do. And if you ever want to go beyond failure and put even more stress on yourself, what you can do is when you get to the point where you can't do a positive force, meaning you can't put the weight back up, you can have your lifting partner put the weight back up and you can do a few more reps of negative force. The fourth technique is doing partial reps. And basically what a partial rep is, when you get to the point of exhaustion and can't do a full rep, you do part of a rep. So for example, let's say you're doing preacher curls and you can't do a full range of motion. Well, you can get your partner to help you get up to about this part and then you just do the last little bit. That's what a partial rep is. And lastly, we got the pre-exhaust technique. Basically, when you're doing compound exercises, you're hitting multiple muscle groups. And some are stronger than others. For example, when you're hitting bench press, you're using the pecs, front delts, and triceps, and the pecs are way stronger than the other 2 muscle groups. So the pre-exhaust technique, in this example of hitting bench press, what you want to do since the pecs are the strongest, is do an exercise that isolates the pecs beforehand. So what you'd want to do here is hit some dumbbell flies first before hitting that bench press. And then you'll be working the pecs a little bit so that when you do the bench press, all 3 of those muscle groups will be fatigued at the same time. Using these techniques I just gave you will increase the intensity and shock your body so that you can apply more stress to it and see more results. But the problem is your body's really good at adapting, so you might need more techniques. With that being said, I created a document with 2 more techniques just like these that will help you get past a plateau and see more results. You can download those 2 tips by looking in the description and finding that link, enter in your email, and I'll send those out to you. If you have any thoughts about these techniques or if you use them yourself, I'd love to hear about it. Leave a comment. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next video.